Good morning, everyone. I have the great privilege of welcoming you here today to the announcement of the 2014 SRI Index. As many of you will know, I'm sure, this is in fact the 11th year that we will be announcing the index constituents. And after a decade, I think it's fitting that the theme for this year's results announcement is in fact reflection. And now, I believe we're going to take a trip down memory lane.
The global trend is towards companies and investors embracing the principles of the triple bottom line.
The fact of the matter is that investors, whether they are international or domestic investors, they've got a choice as to whether they want to invest their capital. So with this in mind, we developed the SRI Index.
Our original thinking was to have an index that would measure the company's triple bottom line performance.
I have to say, I think that video is a marvelous reminder of the energies that helped create the index. Unfortunately, Ivan May, as you know, is no longer with us, but many of the other faces are either here or at different companies and are still very much part of our dialogue. It's amazing how far we actually have come and how important the index has become from those very humble beginnings when Zoe first walked into my office and said, you know what, the World Summit is here and we've got to do something. But by doing what we did, it really did achieve a number of firsts. It was the first index of its type ever launched by a stock exchange anywhere in the world, and it was the first to focus on sustainability more broadly than what was then the benchmark type of index, FTSE for Good, which was an ethical index. South African corporates particularly, unusually in global terms, recognized that success meant focusing on more than just shareholders. And we realized that in order to really make the index useful, it needed to start to speak specifically to investors. So between then and now, the index continued to see active and constructive engagement from the companies. And I do really want to thank all of the companies who've worked with us. In order for investors to make decent decisions about the allocation of capital, they need proper information. And so our job is to make sure that appropriate and relevant information is required to be provided or incentivized to be provided by companies, because it matters to us the type of information that is out there, and it matters to us that we properly balance the cost of compliance, which is extensive, with the benefit to the users. So I know I speak for the entire JSE team when I say it has been a fascinating 11 years. I really look forward to working with you all on the next stage of our journey.
We are very privileged again to have Peter Webster with us, who's flown all the way from a cold and rainy UK to a cold and rainy Johannesburg.
Thank you very much again for your welcome warm in other ways today. And just to reflect a bit on Nikki's contribution, I mean, Nikki's leadership for this whole process has been quite something over the years, frankly, whether from the lunatic fringe or from her other positions. I've seen so many different ventures in our field over the years. What you need to make something in this field work is solid support from the governance level and then really good people on the inside working in the team. And if you've got those two things, all sorts of amazing stuff can happen. And if either of them fails, you end up in trouble. So I would just, Nikki has shown again today the strong governance leadership that she's given to the process. So the index has definitely driven external disclosure by companies and also internal CSR activity. The level of engagement with ourselves has been a part of that process. But now there are 16 exchanges around the world who've joined the Sustainable Stock Exchanges initiative and who are all looking to take forward what the JSE has started. There are now trillions of dollars globally of investors who are looking for responsible investment opportunities, and stock exchanges around the world increasingly want to be open to and attractive to those people, and they also want to help, as Nikki was saying, bring investors and companies together around engagement. Obviously, we congratulate all those who are in the process this year and wish good luck to all those who weren't in, and will continue, I'm sure, to work on how they can improve their performance in those areas that kept them out. And as I say, although much has been achieved, there's plenty more yet to do. So thank you for your consideration, and congratulations to all those who get in this year.
So next to me is my right-hand man, so to speak. Many of you will obviously know Makhiba. She is our front line in terms of handling the company liaisons.
I really would like to congratulate the JSE on this incredible achievement. 10 years ago, I had just started working. I won't mention the company name, just to say that I've since moved out of that load-shedding space. So I'm starting with an overview of the timeline. The initial public research began in June this year. Company preliminary profiles were sent out in 3 tranches between July and September, and individual results were distributed yesterday. In terms of the research methodology and criteria, it again covers 4 areas of measurement: environment, society, governance and related sustainability concerns, and climate change.
So the results at a glance, the number of constituents this year is 82. This is the highest number of constituents the index has ever had, and that really is very, very good news for us, and we're very excited that we're seeing that level of growth. So the top 40s have sustained their strong performance with 35 qualifying this year. The mid-caps, yes, there they are, have also shown their strongest performance this year with 36 qualifying. And then the small caps are big performers this year, as you will say. 11 of them, for the first time, we have double digits in the small caps. The mining companies represent the biggest sector. 15 out of the 18 mining companies that were assessed have qualified. Strong sectors remain life insurance, general retailers, general industrials, food producers, and each of these have 6.3% of the total number of companies in the index. And banks are slightly down, also because we've seen some shifts within that industry, but they are now on 5.1%. Just a very quick snapshot of all sectors. So they're kind of in the middle bottom. There's a sector called Other. That's not a sector, that's a grouping of all of the sectors that have 3 or less companies in that sector. Real estate remains a challenging area because of the legal structural complexities that a lot of them face. Climate change, so again we've seen an improvement here, but the entry level remains a challenge, particularly for the small cap companies. Top 40s remain the strongest there in performance. You can see that 77.5% of them actually achieved the best performer level, which means that they've met all 8 of the climate change criteria that we have applied this year. Lovely. So congratulations to those 82 companies. They would already have received their results. And would have known that their name is up there, but they were probably curious to see who else's name was up there. This year then we have 9 best performers from the 82. In terms of being best performers, we've got 5 mid-caps and 4 top 40s. So our first best performer this year is Anglo American. Okay. Next up, Barloworld. And then Netcare. There we go. Royal Bafokeng Platinum. Vodacom. We did want to do a special recognition of the company that I mentioned that have sustained their best performer status every year since 2007, and that is Standard Bank. And just to reflect a little bit on the future, as Nikki said, we signal that there are big things to come, and you will hear from early next year more detailed announcements about what we are planning. But for now, congratulations for this year, and all of the best, and have a very happy festive season. Thank you.